Volvo, a name we all associate with safety, luxury, and Swedish meatballs. Wait a minute. This little Swedish company called Volvo has had its rough moments over the last few years, especially with reliability, being named several times in almost every top 10 least reliable car list we have seen. Not looking good for the good boys at Volvo. Volvo wasn't always like this though. They were known for being a tank because of its ability to take a hit and keep its passengers safe. Well, that and they looked like a rolling tank with zero curves. That was the pinnacle of car design. We are gonna dive deeper into Volvo's wholesomeness as a manufacturer and its, well, interesting last few years. Volvo was founded in 1927 by Assar Gabrielsen and Gustav Larsson, founded on the principles of safety. Think about that for a second. Almost 100 years ago, and their ideology was still safety focused. Cars are driven by people, the guiding principle behind everything we make at Volvo. Therefore is, and must remain, safety. That was an actual quote from Assar and Gustav when founding Volvo in 1927. Volvo continued to be a solid mid-level car manufacturer up until the 80s when Subaru and wagons entered the mainstream market, taking away a part of the market share that Volvo never got back even to this day. The CEO at the time, Per G. Gyllenhammar, and sorry I'm gonna butcher a lot of these names, saw that Volvo was too small to survive on its own, so decided it was time to merge or find someone to help support the slowly dying Swedish brand. They first tried to merge with Saab but were denied by the Swedish board members after part of the deal actually had Volvo getting a stake in an Osberg oil field, which major institutional actors in Sweden opposed the deal and blocked it. They then tried to merge with Renault some years later, but was once again blocked by shareholders. It wouldn't be until about 1999 that Ford would purchase a majority stake in Volvo, making it part of the PAG era of Ford, with Jaguar, Aston Martin, and Land Rover. Man, that was stacked back then. Volvo saw significant growth during this era, but the untimely market crash of 2008 would see Ford needing to get rid of PAG, auctioning off all their brands to other groups, Volvo landing at the hands of a Chinese auto group called Geely in 2010. Now, Volvo continued from 2010 to 2020 on course, but despite being owned by Geely, they outright let them have full autonomy of their company with little to no influence. Sales were up 50% globally, and Volvo had been doing better than it ever has before. However, in 2021, we saw Geely for the first time reach out to Volvo and say, hey, we want a hand in this brand now. While talks of an official merger phased out and weren't really heard about again, 18% of Volvo shares did get listed on the Stockholm NASDAQ, which, and who's to say what happened. In 2021, Volvo officially started working with Geely on their hybrid and electric motors, with a promise that Volvo would be 100% hybrid and electric by 2025. A year away, and with only 3 mild hybrid cars left, that still counts, right? Okay, the real reason you are here. Volvo, notorious for being one of the safest cars even to this day. In a report from 2022, per 1,000 drivers, Tesla had 30 incidents, and Ram trucks at number 1 had 31. And what can you guess Volvo had? 0.7. That means they were having less than 1 incident per 1,000 drivers. In fact, and this is crazy, between 2009 and 2012, a whole 4 years, Volvo didn't have a single fatal accident in their XC90. That absolutely boggles my mind. This has not come easy, and definitely not by coincidence. Volvo has over 21,000 lifetime global patent applications from their truck and to their car brand. Let me just list a few of these things they are responsible for that you have in your car right now. Laminated glass, the 3-point seatbelt, crumple zones, rear-facing child seat, 3-point seatbelt for the middle seat, side impact protection systems, curtain airbags, I had to use that not too long ago, whips, the whiplash protection system for the front seat, blind spot monitoring in 2004. My 2017 Mustang doesn't even have that. Electric handbrakes and even lane departure warnings. That's just a little tip of the iceberg and so much more. I do too, but Volvo to this day submits hundreds of patents. I scrolled for days and I was still on the year 2023. I do have to say, I have to give a huge props to Geely for allowing Volvo to continue doing what they're doing objectively and not barging in and trying to make it their own thing. While what Volvo is doing nowadays might not be aligned with your thoughts as car guys or car girls, they have some pretty notable performance cars that will leave a lasting legacy. We can't forget about the original 850R wagon or the V70R with that turbo 5-cylinder. What makes it even crazier is you can get either of those cars for under 10 grand, and it's an insane platform to build on. From Sweden all the way to here in the States, there have been an insane amount of fast ones that'll make your Type R look slow. They even have this wild idea to put that same motor in their, let's say, interesting looking C30. While the concept had a wider body and double the power, it didn't make it to production unfortunately, but they did hear our cries and they brought 250 C30s with that same 5-cylinder turbo and an insane Rebel Blue. It only had about 250 horsepower and mostly came in autos, but we can ignore that. Another notable car that they have made is the S60 and V60 Polestar. They originally came in a 6-cylinder turbo, gonna be worth big money one day. And they're extremely rare, and I would highly recommend while they're still on the cheaper side of things. Okay, I could talk for hours about Polestar alone. They have since separated themselves from Volvo as a brand for their own electric cars. While still being owned by Volvo, they have tried to make it seem like they're their own thing, but let's be honest, I don't think they'll ever shake the Volvo-ness. The Polestar 1 was their first car and attempt at separating themselves, and they have absolutely killed it. It was a hybrid, so not fully electric, but this thing not only looks wild, it was the perfect first car to get everyone's attention. How else to better market it than making it the Halo car in the recent Need for Speed video game? Granted, there were some slight modifications, but nonetheless, it was still a cool car. Okay, maybe Polestar should be its own video. So let me know in the comments if you think we should go more in depth with that. All I'll have to say is y'all are sleeping on Volvo performance cars, and especially a solid option if you're looking for something kind of cheap, kind of reliable, and most importantly, safe. Okay guys, we're still figuring out this whole YouTube thing, so if there's cars or things you want us to talk about, of course list them in the comments and let us know. Make sure to check out some of our build content with the 4Runner and our minivan that we did.
Dude, this is the look of fucking fear right now.
Stuff, huh?
We also sell so many different types of wheels on our website, along with suspension and tires. It's the true one-stop shop to get your car looking pretty. Also, don't forget to add your car to our vehicle gallery so it can get featured and entered for our fitment battles. You can win some huge prizes and even get roasted by the likes of me and Jake. Again, take care, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next.